Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Chang, and I'm a member of the Flourishing Steering Team for the Green Apron Alliance. And we were able to take a flourishing assessment, and I want to have Marie Gill explain to us what the results mean now that they're in. But I think what mostly I'm interested in learning is that, while we are all not part of an organization, and I mean, we're not part of a corporation anymore, that's where our common interest, and that's where we met each other. How does this apply to us in our daily lives, in our current work roles? But where can we take this? So Marie, can you help us walk through the data, please?
Thanks, Catherine. Really appreciate it. Your teamwork and support on this project has been fantastic. Yes, I'm excited to go through the report. Again, I want to stress that this was in partnership with Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program, Flourishing Metrics, which is a licensed partner of the Human Flourishing Program. They are really the ones that are going to market, helping companies, helping organizations figure out how to help their employees flourish. So they granted us the opportunity to, as a alumni community around the world, be able to participate in this assessment. But actually, what's really super cool is that this assessment is also tied to Dr. Tyler Vanderweel and Baylor University and Harvard, looking at a 5-year longitudinal study of human flourishing. They are conducting this assessment currently across 22 different countries, 300,000 people every single month will be taking this very same assessment that we did. And as a result, over the next 5 years, much of this information will be coming forward on how to actually help people with the understanding of our complete human well being, what we need to do differently about making our world and our lives much better. So, as the slide shows, Flourishing Metrics assesses 7 domains of human flourishing. Each of these domains has been scientifically proven to have an impact, positively or negatively, on how we look at whole human well-being. These 7 domains include happiness and life satisfaction, mental health, physical health, meaning and purpose, character and virtue, social relationships, and financial, which is really material stability, financial stability, wondering and worrying about how to get your basic needs covered financially is of great importance. Uh, Interestingly, Dr. Tyler Vanderweel's research does show that financial stability has a direct impact on all the other domains, which is unique for understanding this. So again, makes sense if we're not doing well, if we're struggling on how to pay our rent and make life needs met, it's hard to look beyond that if you're not doing well. So for Flourishing Metrics assessment of Green Apron Alliance and all other non-Green Apron Alliance alumni, Starbucks alumni, our overall score was 7.29. That is considered average. I think probably for the first time for many of us, we're in the average scale. 7.5 and above gets you into excellent. 173 people responded to the assessment. And again, we'll go through the interesting demographics of this. But for the Flourishing Research Team, this number is very critical. It is relevant, statistically relevant for our alumni community. Ideally, we would have had 400 responses, of which anything over 400 responses means that statistical anomalies won't necessarily negatively or positively impact the results. But 173 for the research team was material and quite important. So we should be excited and proud that we got those assessments in. 62% of respondents claim to be managers, meaning that they take care of people, manage people in some form. And we are about 0.3% above the normative database of all other companies that have participated. So let's dive into it by domain. This black box above each of the domain scores represents our global normative database. So this is every single company in the world that has participated. The number is of assessments is relatively small, but it is growing. And so at this point, you can easily see by domain how Starbucks alumni are faring against the normative database. And we'll dive into this a little bit deeper. But again, it's super interesting. In some categories, we're doing much better than the normative database, and in other areas, we're not doing so well. So close social relationships with 7.02 is less than the normative database. So somehow we, who I always think of us as a very social group, we're not doing so well. So what can we do to improve that? Another area that we need to look at, and we'll go into it in a little bit different detail, is mental health. And we need to kind of think about how we can help each other there. So let's get into it by some of the demographics that are super interesting. Again, majority of people recognize themselves as managers. Higher number of men or people who identify by gender of male responded, and older folks in our community are doing better than younger folks. So this actually is, if we look at this across other normative database information, is interestingly in line with how others responded. As we get older, we tend to see life a little differently, and we're doing a little bit better. And we can dive into that in a bit. The ethnicity and scores, again, most of our respondents came in from Asia, Europe, and North America. And our alumni out of Asia populations are doing better than Europeans and North Americans. Fun stuff, super interesting. So we look at the results through a 2x2 square, and let me explain what this looks like. So prioritize and celebrate are two areas that we want to put most of our attention. The celebrate quadrant are things that we have said related to the domains, that these are things that we're doing very, very well in and are of extreme importance to us. So again, celebrate quadrant is an area that we want to make sure we high five one another on. And those items that pop up into prioritize mean that we say that they're very, very important to us, but we're not doing so well. And so as a Green Apron Alliance team member, and as someone that is going to be helping pull programs and opportunities together, our group, our steering committee, Catherine, as you know, are going to be looking at this very differently and make sure that we are providing the resources that we need to help us improve this score. I'd love to see areas in this prioritize box go away. So what can we do to help our group overall happiness, and what can we do with helping people have satisfaction with their lives? It's also important to note that those items that are starting to get close to this line are things that we need to pay attention to as well. So enjoyment of activities could also be another area that we'd want to look at. Moving on to mental health, a big thing that popped up for us was a sense of peace and feeling good about myself. So these two areas are things that we want to make sure we're supporting and looking at. Areas that we want to high five and celebrate is that positive mood, no addiction, sense of hope are all doing really well. So let's keep that up. Physical health, exercise and diet universally pop up for all of the companies that are participating in this assessment. It's just a matter of where we are in life and what's been happening. So we want to stay focused on what we can do to do those things. Meaning and purpose. Our community, our global alumni community, said that making important contributions was important. So what can we do to help on that? Character and virtue. Guess what? Our alumni community are really good about focusing on what's important. And so we don't have anything to prioritize quite yet. There are a couple of areas in the quadrant of review that we'll want to take a look at. But for right now, I want to just pause and say kudos. We're all doing really well in this area. Close social relationships. The amount of contact with friends is an area that we said was very important, and we're not doing well. And I think I've heard that personally on all these different events that we're doing through Zoom. No one likes to be on Zoom. We like to hug one another. We like to be face to face and in the room. So we will figure out how to do more of that. But one of the most important things about Green Apron Alliance is that we prioritize this through everything we do. So I would encourage all alumni who have not had a chance yet to connect with Green Apron Alliance to do so, because this is exactly where we shine. Financial and material stability. There are two big areas that we want to look at: saving for retirement and saving for unexpected expenses. We have a number in our community who have said that they are either in the process of retiring or have retired. So what can we do as a community to help one another improve upon this and make a difference? So let's find out what we can pull together for that. The nice thing about this report is it takes the top 7 priorities, again, looking at each of those domains and saying, what can we do to make this better? So we are going to use this as our guide in the coming year so that we can bring forward those programs, those opportunities, those life lessons that can help us make this a big difference for us. So we can use this data to help drive the way we're looking at life. So I am excited to have this be part of our roadmap, part of our journey as a alumni team. We are going to tap into resources, tap into opportunities for us to make difference. And one of the things I'm very excited about in my role is that I know through conversations with our alumni, we have some incredible leaders, incredible thought leaders, practitioners who are specifically in these spaces making big differences. So we know that there are happiness coaches out there that we want to tap into and have them bring forward their contributions. Meaning and purpose. We have a number of people, great leaders, great thought leaders who are helping us through this. So we're going to put a little shine on them, a little spotlight, so that we can get their input and support. And there's a lot of resources that we can tap into specifically for savings and for helping us with financial material stability. And of course, I cannot iterate this enough that close social relationships is all about Green Apron Alliance. That is exactly what we're here to do, is provide those virtual and in-person hugs and opportunities to make things better. So with that, I'm going to end my presentation, and I just want to say thank you again, Catherine, for all your help and helping us bring this to life with the Green Apron. So thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Wow, thanks so much, Marie. That was a lot of great information, and I'm excited about what this can mean for us as an organization and individually. So hopefully everybody will stay tuned to see the action steps that'll come out of this. But I think that we were so lucky to be able to have access to this. So please, everybody, take advantage of it. Thanks a lot, Marie.